Look, I know a lot of the focus is on the fact that the NFL season gets underway this weekend, but NBA training camp is also right around the corner, tipping off on September 28th. So coming up on Knicks Now by Chat Sports, I am your host, Chase Sr. We're going to take a look at some Knicks breakout candidates who could really flourish this upcoming season here in 2021-2022. I think this Knicks roster is comprised of a bunch of players who could really burst onto the scene here this upcoming season. None more notable than Immanuel Quickley, who really flashed last year as a rookie coming out of Kentucky, and then further solidified the hype surrounding him in the Las Vegas Summer League. I do want to get to some of the numbers that Quickley put up both in the regular season last year as a rook, also in the Summer League. You first take a look at what he was able to do in his first year in the NBA, and he certainly exceeded expectations for where he was drafted in the 20s of the first round back in the 2020 NBA draft. He was very good. I think the big thing you want Immanuel Quickley to work on and hone in on is just becoming a more consistent shooter and a better creator for himself as well as his teammates. His number as a rookie, 11.5 points per game, 2 assists. He shot little less than 40% from the floor on all of his field goals. I like to see that number go up. But here's the weird thing and the discrepancy about his numbers. He shot almost 39% from three-point range, which is a little bit above league average. Then he goes to Las Vegas, and he cooked up a couple of heaters where on some occasions, on some games, Immanuel Quickley looked like one of, if not the best player in the NBA Summer League. But here's the deal. Going back to my original point, he was kind of hot and cold. Averaged 20 points per game in the Las Vegas Summer League, but the field goal percentage just not where you want it to be, in the low 30s on some nights. That's where his average ended up falling. But on some nights, he was going on these hot streaks. So I'm thinking that Immanuel Quickley, as a bench piece in that role, as a go-to scorer off the bench, could be a Lou Williams type of player, where on some nights he might be cold and inconsistent, but on other nights he could light MSG on fire and go off for anywhere between 15 and 25 points per game. I think his numbers increase in year 2. That's why I think Immanuel Quickley is a breakout candidate. Knicks fans, this is your opportunity to hop on board, join the show, and interact with us. Do you think Quickley will have a breakout season? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Get those votes in the comment section down below. Who was better than Immanuel Quickley for the Knicks in Las Vegas? Obi Toppin. And the Knicks really need him to continue to develop his offensive arsenal, but also get better as a defensive player as well. And we know that Obi Toppin is a stupid athlete with insane jumping ability, but as a rookie, as a lottery pick, coming out of Dayton, didn't live up to expectations at all, and he really wasn't all that good as a rookie. A big reason for that, we know that Tom Thibodeau doesn't always like to play rookies a lot of minutes. He's somewhat conservative in that regard. He oftentimes favors some veterans, but I think it's smart for Tibbs this upcoming season to rely more on Obi Toppin, coming off of what he did in Las Vegas. But as a rookie, 4 points per game, he was really just okay. The minutes per game were down. But how about what he did in Las Vegas, man? There were some nights where he was high flying, blocking shots, stealing passes, knocking down threes, throwing down some highlight reel dunks. He does more of that with the Knicks coming around the corner. MSG is going to be lit. But those Las Vegas Summer League numbers were excellent. 21 points per night, more than 8 rebounds, a steal per game, almost a block per game as well. And he looked a lot more comfortable letting it fly, shooting the basketball from beyond the arc, which is really my big key for Obi Toppin's development, because there's so much modern day value in forwards, in big men who can stretch the floor, but also give you a little bit of positional versatility offensively and defensively. Because Obi Toppin is such a great athlete, he can guard multiple positions. So if he's doing that and gives you that defensively while also knocking down some threes and developing that part of his offensive game, Obi Toppin, prime breakout candidate for 2021-2022. My next question for Knicks fans watching from the great city of New York and beyond, which overall grade would you give Obi Toppin? And kind of go on an NBA 2K scale for me from 1 to 100. I know a lot of you like to hop on the sticks and you're all gamers, so scale Toppin as a player for me from 1 to 100. Speaking of numbers, BetUS. You want some good numbers in your bank account? BetUS has you covered because there isn't a better deal from any sports book across the world. If you go to chatsports.com/bet and you enter the promo code CHAT125, that link and that promo code on your screen right now, you get a 125% deposit bonus. What that basically means is you put $100 in your account, you get an additional $125 back using that link and that promo code. That's $225 to lay down some bets with. How about week 1 in the NFL season? These are my top 5 picks for week 1. I like the Eagles on the road as 3-point underdogs. I like the Seahawks on the road against Indy as 3-point favorites. Niners -7.5. I think they win that game and dump truck Detroit. Bears +9. Their defense is too good to lose by a fat number like that, in my opinion. And I beat the books. I got the Raiders +4.5 before some of those injury issues started to pop up for Baltimore. More Knicks breakout candidates to get to. RJ Barrett. His development, his growth, and the jump that he made from his freshman campaign to what he did last year in his sophomore season was tremendous. I'm not sure there was another player in the NBA, another young player, I should say, because Julius Randle took a sizable jump last year as well. But I'm not sure there was another young player out there in the NBA who took a massive jump from year 1 to year 2 like RJ Barrett did. And what a pleasant surprise it was for New York Knicks fans as well as Tom Thibodeau for him to be as good last year as he was. The comparisons between the numbers, drastic in my opinion, from a points per game standpoint as well as an assists per game standpoint. I mean, points per game from his rookie campaign coming out of Duke goes up from 14.3 to 17.5. Rebounds per game goes up a little bit. Assists per game goes up. But the most notable jump in the numbers, his 3-point percentages, man. Going from 32% as a rookie to 40+% in his second season. How consistent can he be with shooting the rock from the outside? And is that 40% number from deep sustainable moving forward? We're going to find out in year 3, because oftentimes when there's an 8% jump like that from 32 to 40 on a shot where the numbers don't always side with you from an efficiency standpoint, sometimes the year after that big jump, there can be somewhat of a dip, but I don't think that's going to happen because RJ Barrett has some dog in him. This is a guy that works tirelessly at his craft, and a year 3 jump would really be glorious for this franchise if you don't decide to trade RJ Barrett for a player like Damian Lillard. If you decide to move forward with a younger roster with Barrett as one of the faces of this franchise, and he takes another big jump in year 3 from maybe around 17 points per game to 20 plus, you're looking at a Knicks team that I think could cause a little bit of noise and cause some havoc in the Eastern Conference. How many points per game do you think that Barrett will average this upcoming season? Let me know. Put a figure down in the comment section. Hopefully it's around 20. I think a sizable jump could be happening for RJ Barrett in year 3. Lastly, let's hit on these rookies really quickly because they don't really deserve to be coined as breakout candidates because we don't know what they bring to the table as rookies. I just want to talk about some of these Knicks rookies because I do think that the Knicks did a good job in the draft. Outside of Rokas Jokubaitis at point guard, who I'm really not sure about. I don't think he's even going to play for the Knicks this upcoming season. I think Jericho Sims has some long-term potential. I think Quentin Grimes has shown the ability to score the basketball. Miles McBride as a two-way player, one of my favorite selections in the draft with where the Knicks got him late in the draft. So I think all of those players are guys to keep an eye on. I think a guy like Sims could be a stash in the G League to let him develop. But Quentin Grimes, And Miles McBride, could they contribute in their rookie seasons? Something to monitor with NBA training camp right around the corner. Before we dip out of here, because we want to enjoy our weekends just like you're about to enjoy your weekends, do us a favor, subscribe to Knicks Now by Chat Sports by hitting that red subscribe button down below. We're getting closer and closer to 2,000 subscribers. We're the largest and fastest growing Knicks channel right here on YouTube, so help us out because more subscribers equals more videos, and we appreciate you watching today's show.